Hey everyone, let's take a look at the Mars Spaceship Exploration Missions. This is by Lego City, set number 60354. Contains about 298 bricks. So this set does retail for $39.99, that's US currency. Well, hope we get more than just a spaceship. It doesn't look too bad so far. And yes, you're going to have to use that app to build this. So you're basically building from a storyline. You're building from a story, not instructions. And I use that term very loosely, especially from the last one that we did. So it looks like we have a spaceship. It looks like it did a crash landing. From what I can tell in the box, looks like we get ourselves several minifigures and a bunch of parts. So build it your way. Now, I've heard that on the last one, and I'm going to use that term loosely. Well, let's head over to the Lego table and see if this set is worth $39.99. Okay, I'm going to refrain from voicing my opinions till the end of the review. So let's run through. So off to the left we have extra pieces. You can build, I believe, up to 3 minifigures. So we have a gentleman here with a fade perm and a chicken leg. We've seen that chicken leg a few times. He's got a little metal detector. And then we have just a plain old astronaut. And we have this gal here holding a banana and drinking out of a mug. And then we got some helmets and stuff. Got one of these little grabber things. It's like it's meant to attach to something. Some kind of water projectile thing. I may have to censor that out. And some kind of electronic dog. Looks like a little dog. And we got some rock formation things here with water spewing out of them. I think they're supposed to be like asteroids floating through space or something. We gotta have a fire extinguisher, right? Doesn't look too bad, just looks a little larger than the figures. And it looks like someone has landed on this plate thing. And finally we have the spaceship, and this is what I gathered that we can build strictly from the guide. And I'm sure that these pieces here can be used to enhance this, so let's run through this real quick. Here's the rear. You have plenty of space for storage. So if you want, you can throw Mr. Perm guy in there if you want. And you can take a ride in the back if the lady doesn't want to hear him talk or whatever. And how do you open these up? It's very hard. I can't even open these up. There's really no way to open this up at all. So there we go. And you can seat up to 2 minifigures, one here and here. So it is playable. It does come with a brick separator and a good chunk of parts to obviously enhance the spaceship. And the whole point about the story is to build it your way. That's where it ends. Now I did preload up the building guide. Took a few minutes, and still, just like with the first one of these that I reviewed, it was slow go. You go through two pages to place a part down, another 2 pages place another part down, and it was slow. The build to me was dry. It wasn't fun at all. It just didn't keep my interest. Matter of fact, I was getting bored with it, to be honest. So it just, I don't think I'm not really into space themes, but this, if I was basing my whole experience off of this, if I like space, I would run away from this. I would not even bother with this again. Part-wise, there's some good pieces in here. If you watch the brick exploration, we do get several pieces of interest in here, pieces that I could use for other mocks. So yeah, lots of, you could do that or use them to enhance this other stuff. Build wasn't really repetitious, it was just dragged out, long, and boring. Now, I'm known for my honesty, so I'm not sugarcoating it at all. Could this be dropped in a city? If you have an aviation area or a space program, yes, you could drop some of the stuff into a city. Minifigures, of course, are complete. Some of this stuff, I don't even know what it really does. I'm assuming that some of the stuff just gets attached to these things. Is it worth $39.99? It's got about 300 pieces. Honestly, no. 30 at the most. Now, there's some things we have to note, that all these parts in here with the graphics are printed. Does come with the torsos and plenty of good accessories. I would say, yeah, about $30. I mean, I know printed stuff usually tends to cost more to make. But for me, honestly, it's just a hodgepodge full of parts. You actually get an incomplete build. At least walk us through and make one whole build. Because you could tell that there's supposed to be stuff attached to here and these holes here. It's all supposed to have extra stuff. I understand that they want to start encouraging people to use their imaginations. Now, I can see some of this stuff going on the spaceship. But for somebody who's just starting out into this, this would be if I were to buy this as a prospective Lego builder, I would be like, I'm not interested in sets that are incomplete. So basically, you're buying a $40 parts bin. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some good pieces in here, stuff that I could use. If you find it on sale, it would be a great set. But other than that, though, just for 3 minifigures of just generic variety and just some random parts to make a half-built spaceship, I think this set is half-baked. Now experience the second mission set. Oh, I don't even want to think of what the third one's going to be. Stay tuned for that one.